Illinois is facing a housing supply crisis that is unrivaled by any other state in the country. One study after another has highlighted the single most predominant cause of this crisis: local building and zoning rules. Some cities enforce rules that only allow builders to build high-end, expensive homes. Some cities enact rules that force builders to build on oversized lots, sometimes in excess of 10,000, 15,000 square feet. Some cities impose a web of regulations that just drive up the cost of new construction. For example, in some of our largest cities, over 40% of the cost of construction is attributable just to regulatory compliance. The American dream of home ownership began with starter homes on relatively modest-sized lots. Most towns and cities in Illinois ban those types of homes on those size lots now. Illinois' housing supply shortage is so severe, we would need to triple our new housing production every year for the next 5 years just to meet current demand. Illinois ranks second to last in new housing supply recovery since the start of the pandemic. We have trailed every other Midwestern state in new housing starts for the last 10 years straight. On top of that, multifamily housing starts have fallen 40% year over year, driving up rents across the state. If you can't afford to buy, you're stuck trying to rent one of fewer and fewer available apartments with higher and higher rents. If you've tried to find a home in the last 5 years, you can attest to how hard it is right now. From bidding wars to sky-high prices, we've seen prices in some communities go up 60, 70, even upwards of 100% in the last 5 years, leaving some families to just give up on home ownership altogether. Illinois' high housing costs are costing the state, they're costing your community. We did a recent poll and upwards of 35% of the respondents said that they've considered leaving the state based solely on their rising housing costs. Another 30% have said that they've had to cut back on other areas of expenses just to keep up with their high housing costs. The Build Illinois plan is an initiative that will make it easier and more economical for home builders to add housing in every corner of the state. More homes, especially missing middle starter homes, means more affordability, more attainability for everybody across the state. Lobbyists being paid for by mayors, which means they're being paid for by taxpayers like you, are lobbying against the Build Illinois plan and against housing affordability. Think about this. Why would your mayor not want to address housing affordability in your community? Not every town is the same, and that is why the Build Illinois plan preserves local control over the approval of new developments, whether that's for residential or any other type of use. While no two towns are alike, most building and zoning codes are pretty similar. They all set minimum lot size requirements, setback requirements. They all prescribe some limited use for every lot in the town. The Build Illinois plan preserves that model, which reinforces uniformity and fairness across the state, but will also spark a wave of new home building in every corner of the state. The Build Illinois plan creates a path for starter homes, single-family homes on smaller lots so you can achieve your American dream. The Build Illinois plan also enables homeowners to incorporate accessory dwelling units on their properties, a concept that's supported by 85% of our neighbors. The Build Illinois plan also frees up critical space in our downtowns. It recognizes that most apartments in downtown areas don't require large parking structures or large parking lots anymore, especially in communities that have a well-established mass transit system. The Build Illinois initiative is the first substantive effort our state has seen to address one of the most critical issues facing our state. The impact goes beyond housing affordability. With a projected 700,000 new jobs created, over $10 billion in new state and local revenues from permitting and hookups, and almost $3 billion in new property tax revenues that can finally bring stabilization to one of the highest housing costs we all face. The Build Illinois plan will spark a wave of new starter home construction and will uplift every community in the state. And that is why we should all be calling our mayors and our legislators and telling them to give it their full support.